What's up guys, MrVerry here, and today I'm going to be doing the Forbidden Lands. I'm sure many of you have seen the video where I attempted to do this previously, and I didn't end up making it through due to the lag and kicks we've been experiencing from, the DDoS. So, obviously I told you guys I was gonna show you the whole place at some point when things were, a little smoother, and they are certainly smooth enough now. Sorry about that. So here we are. And we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. I'm gonna go to the Behemoths first, and the Behemoths are right here. The giant spider cave is right there, and the Hydra cave is to the northwest. And when they first added this area, there wasn't two floors for Hydras, Behemoths, and I don't know if they added a floor for giant spiders, I'm not sure. But now there is an extra floor for Behemoths and Hydras. So that's very cool. I was able, at level 130, I used to task Behemoths. Jesus Christ, I am just ridiculous today. But I used to task Behemoths at level 130, and with avalanches, of course, and I was able to hunt them with no problem, and there would always be at least two or three for me to kill, even on the first floor. So these spawns are big enough and spawn fast enough that it's definitely the type of area you can share with another person. If you're, I would say like 160 or below. Past that, yeah, you might want it for yourself. Like at this level, if I was going to do another behemoth task just for fun, which I probably wouldn't, but let's say I was going to, yeah, I would probably want the whole thing, but you know. So I'm going to put my dwarven legs on just for safety. And we're going to let off a nice E-wave. Now, behemoths are actually strong to energy, but they're not that strong to energy. So it's worth using Great Energy Beam and Energy Wave, as it's going to deal more damage than your avalanches. So if you want to deal some heavy damage and you have the mana, go for it. Obviously, if you're a druid, you're going to be using your strong Ice Wave and strong Ice Strike, so you have an advantage, obviously. And we're gonna loot these bees. So yeah, I just put out a video on quorums on my low level character, and it's been a while since I've done a video. It's actually been like 5 days, so I'm glad to be back. I got a couple questions though. So I'm almost finished with my Pokemon Leaf Green Let's Play, and a lot of you liked it. A lot of you didn't give me any feedback on it. And it really didn't get nearly as many views as my Tibia videos, which is to be expected, I know most of you are here for my Tibia videos, but for those of you who did like it and did check it out, would you want me to do any other Pokemon games? Like, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red. Like, I'm totally down to do another one. I would actually really like to do another one. I'm actually a really skilled Pokemon player. I've been playing since I was a kid, and I've always really enjoyed it. I think they're phenomenal RPG games. I can't see how, if you're a Tibia player and you like an RPG, then it would be weird if, when you were younger, you didn't enjoy Pokemon unless you just weren't introduced to it. But regardless, definitely let me know about that. I'm also considering doing a Fire Emblem Let's Play, and Fire Emblem is an awesome RPG game. Very, very cool. I don't know how many of you guys have heard of it or are familiar with it, but very awesome game. Certainly worth checking out. So we have made it to the hole, and this is actually the spot where I lagged out last time and died. So I'm kind of hoping for some better luck, and I get a nice E-wave off, dealing a bit heavier damage. So yeah, Behemoths are actually really good to task for mages. Paladins, they're more of a pain in the ass for because they are strong to both holy and physical. You could probably make money, but you're not gonna get that great of experience. As far as druids, obviously have the biggest advantage when it comes to hunting behemoths, as they have area ice attacks, which is super helpful. So now we are on the lower behemoth floor. And knights, obviously, that's just out of the question. You know, unless you have like a druid to come with you or something. So you can see I've never been on this floor because all the time I spent hunting here, I had never this wasn't made yet, you know, this just got added to the game somewhat recently. So I'm actually unfamiliar with this area as well, but it seems like they just made long hallways of beehies, which is pretty cool. It makes it pretty easy to wave them. I can definitely respect that. And they're about dead. Probably one more, hopefully. Oh, nope, make it two. And also, when I was tasking behemoths, they did not drop platinum coins like this. Like, the fact that they drop so many platinum coins is actually really, really nice. Because you're not guaranteed to get a giant sword or a steel boots every time you come. They just don't drop it often enough for that to happen. So we see a pretty big room here, and it finally looks like I've grabbed all my behemoth friends. And I'm not going to go to the right yet. I think that loops back to the entrance, so I'm going to kind of just run around down here and see what we can find. I don't imagine this is like too big of a spawn just because of how big the upstairs is. The upstairs has like a little over 10, and you know, that's enough. Like by the time I go back up, most of them, if not all of them, are going to be respawned, you know. So we get 4 small amethysts, the first somewhat decent drop from a behe. And I'm going to skin them a little later. First, I am going to get some more behes on me. Oh, okay, dead end. Alright, so I'm kind of getting a feel for this cave now. And there's number 3, cool. Oh boy, that would have been perfect for a wave. And I got 2 of them in it, which is fine. I'll probably end up dropping the last one with SDs or a strong energy strike. It's a good thing behemoths don't heal, huh? That would just be a major pain in the ass. I remember when Sipsoft implemented heroes healing. I don't know how long you guys have been playing for, but heroes did not always used to heal. Actually, for a long time when I played, they didn't heal. And then when they started healing, it was like really, really surprising. And of course, that was before knights and paladins had their new ammunition and increased damage with uh, with normal ammunition. That was a very different time. That was like 7.2 or 7.3 or something. They did that. So very crazy, very different. So far, I really like this addition to the cave. It's pretty huge. There's tons of behemoths. There's certainly not any lack of behees down here. So this is definitely for, I would say, higher levels, as when you are coming back up the cave, you're going to have to deal with the 3 that spawn there. And yes, you can put an E-bomb down to prevent them from all getting to you immediately, but it is still a little dangerous, and unless you have the proper damage dealing abilities or proper health, or if you just feel like wasting a ton of supplies, you're better off just hunting on the first floor. And my avalanches aren't going off. Alright, there we go. Alrighty. So we're going to drop this one with SDs as he is all alone. While we loot the others, of course. Yeah, behemoths drop more platinum coins than demons. Behemoths drop more platinum coins than a lot of strong creatures, actually. It's pretty crazy. So, we've explored the behemoth section of the Forbidden Lands now. So now we will go onward to the Hydras, I'm thinking. Either Hydras or giant spiders. I'm not sure which I want to do first. Oh. Let's see. Well, since giant spiders are a little closer, we're going to do giant spiders first. And I think we'll be able to run through that real quick and then move onward to Hydras. So out here there's a lot of massive earth elementals which have a decent resistance to physical damage, but they are weak to fire. So definitely want to bring some GFBs if you're a sorcerer or a druid or even a paladin, because these earth elementals they're not too vicious. Most of the other massive elementals kind of put these guys to shame in terms of sheer power, but they do have a decent amount of resistance, and they paralyze, and they can be annoying. So you do want to take them out if you can. And we see the giant spider. Who we take down, and we are now dropping into the giant spider cave. So there's plenty of tarantulas in here too. Obviously, this isn't a good spot to go for like tarantula tasking or anything. I would never suggest that, but you know. So definitely a very good giant spider spawn. I'm actually surprised that no one is here right now. This spawn is almost always camped. I actually like this spawn better than the Yalahar spawn. And I believe that when it wasn't stated, it kind of took over as the best giant spider spawn in Tibia. It's very compact, so for paladins and mages who are trying to do their thing and run away from it, I understand that that's not the best for you, but it's almost worth just having to heal a little bit more just so that you can actually get extra kills fast and get that extra experience. Like, this is a really, really awesome cave. And it should go without saying that giant spiders are weak to fire. And I believe they're neutral to physical and holy. So, knights, I actually typically see higher level knights hunting in this cave. Typically botting, actually. But regardless of that, it's definitely a good area for higher level knights. You can make a good amount of money at giant spiders. When they do drop their silks, it all makes sense what the hell you're doing here. And obviously, if you're a mage, you want to bring a melee weapon with you, as you can see that there's the webs, and that if you want to get into the webs, you need to hit it with a dagger or some sort of melee weapon. I carry a dagger because they're lightweight, and you can buy them just about anywhere. So, giant spiders are almost down, and we're almost through this part of the cave. Yeah, I'm really surprised that this whole area is open, like the whole area. And just a little bit further, and you can see it's just a big loop-de-loop, like that's all this cave is. And you can also see just how close in proximity the giant spiders are to each other. They're quite close. So if you're trying to run them, you really need to be careful. You don't want to run them all into each other and just have yourself get trapped and destroyed. That's no fun. I don't know if I've said this already, but I'm going to say it just in case. In order to get into this area, you need to get the mission in the Ape City Quest to retrieve Bigfoot's hair. And because Bigfoot's hair is in here, so... And as you can see, I just went up the other giant spider cave, or other giant spider hole, not other cave, same cave, different hole, different entrance. So you can see that there's two entrances. There's the one that I'm next to, and there's the one that I have marked on my map straight to the south east of here. So now we're going to go to the, well, we're about to go to Hydras. First, I want to show you guys the Bigfoot area and where to get it. So if you are coming here for the quest, you can see where it is. Cool. So we end up getting a stone skin amulet out of a earth elementals. That's like the first rare we've gotten so far. This is also one of the highest populations of geez, what are they called? Of Carniphilas in the game. So, very cool. And I think I may have already passed it. It's a pain in the ass looking for it with all these jerks around here, And I don't know what hole this is. It appears to be another Hydra cave? I'm not sure. But anyway, the hair of Bigfoot is up to the northwest here. I think it's right here, actually. Oh, yep, it's right here. The giant footprint is empty. It's to the top left of the left footprint. So there's a Hydra cave over to the east here, and that's the one that's been here forever. This, well, not forever, but since this area was implemented. And the one I'm next to right now is the new one. So that's what we're going to check out. And Hydras are obviously weak to energy, and they are neutral to death. They are also weak to physical, and we get Boots of Haste on the first Hydra. So how about that? That is awesome. Very cool. That's the second time I've gotten Boots of Haste on my first Hydra while recording. Or not first, but early on at least. Yeah, I'm gonna have to post that to my guildmates. So, going deeper in here to see what this cave is like, it looks like there's just 2 Hydras every so often, which is really manageable. That's not hard to deal with at all. And as a sorcerer or a druid, explosions work really well when Hydras are in groups if you're comfortable with having them stand next to you. If not, I would use thunderstorms while running, as they are weak to energy, but explosions are cheaper and they deal more damage. So, can definitely see the advantage to that. And we get a Ring of Healing as well. Very nice. So we're going to throw that in the Life Ring / Ring of Healing BP. And to the southeast is the other Hydra cave, which it looks like they're connected now. I would assume so. So yeah, that Boots of Haste just did it all for me, for sure. And there is someone here, but I'm just leaving, so I'm not going to kill his stuff. I'm just going to show you guys the rest of it. So, showing you guys the rest of this, and honestly, we're really lucky that we came this far in, and we're able to, you know, kill this many things without having any interference up until now. Like, that's very surprising. But we are going to kill this little area, so I let off a Rage of the Skies, dealing heavy damage to all the Hydras, and using thunderstorms to finish them off. And they begin to run. And it looks like we got the loot we were gonna already, you know. So I gotta get out of here. I told him I would leave, and I'm not trying to kill his spawn. So this Hydra cave is huge now compared to what it used to be, definitely. Very big. So here is the Hydra hole to the east. And there's usually 2 Hydras here when you come up. And there's like a little spot right there. Like, what is that? They added that too? What the hell is that? There's like a little post. That's really weird. I've never seen that before. You can see it just appeared on my map. They've added so much to so many areas, and you know, I don't really hunt in a lot of the areas that they update. I hunted in them when they were still shitty, and now they're like, oh yeah, now we're gonna update it now that you have no need to hunt there. Thanks, Sipsoft. I appreciate it. Yeah, this was not here. This was added around the same time the new Hydra cave was added, and the new the addition onto the Behemoth cave was added. So that's all I had to show you. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment on this video, and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the content I produce. Thanks for watching again, guys.